Ladies and gents, I'm just going to go out and say it. I mean, we have a new Universal Champion. And the trickle-down effect this week on TV was interesting. We had battle royales for number one contendership. We had people losing to Cedric Alexander. We had people having six-man tags to figure out who's going to face Kofi. We had people who are close friends with Kofi being in the other match to figure out the number one contender for the other title. It was a lot, and we're going to get into it. 4 shows. We are covering the pay-per-view, Raw, SmackDown, and some of NXT. It is a lot, and the timestamp is going to show it. So please sit back, relax, do whatever it is that you do when you listen to your podcast. I will not judge you, and enjoy another week of the Playmakers Blog Podcast Wrestling Edition. Ladies and gents and ladies, it appears that we have some new storylines, new feuds, new material, and all that good stuff. And Darnell thinks I'm going to be upset about something, but I might surprise him. Before all that, this is the Playmakers Blog Podcast Wrestling Edition. And, as I mentioned before, to my left, as always, is Darnell, the Playmaker Solins. How are you doing this morning, Darnell?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Like that 180 song.
There's smoke. There's a lot of smoke going on.
And when there's smoke,
there's fire. I don't know about you, but I felt Extreme Rules started off with a very good week of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Good showing. Great showing.
Mm-hmm.
We had 9 matches, but we ended with 10. The Undertaker returned and looked damn good.
Oh, he definitely wiped that taste out of his mouth.
Oh my gosh. When he sat up after being put through a table in the coast to coast with a trash can, oh my gosh. How did you sit up from that?
Bro, like you could tell he was trying to get people to forget that match in Saudi Arabia. I'm so glad he did.
Whew.
So, because I mean we can do a extra 30 minutes or whatever, but go ahead and give us a rundown and tell us where we are as far as the pick thingy goes.
I would say this. Dallas won Extreme Rules. Because we have a new Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, that was the tiebreak?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
on the kickoff show, Finn Balor defended against Shinsuke Nakamura, messed around to 2 Kinshasas, and lost the title.
Took it to the back of his neck and to the front of his neck.
I'm gonna be honest, at that point in time, I just forgot about the picks. I was like, you know what? He already won the one match we disagreed on, so ain't nothing I can do.
Oh.
But I would get everything caught up.
Cool beans. So it's tricky because on one hand, it's like you have the Undertaker match we opened up with. Trying to think. U.S. title. I mean, AJ obviously retained.
I couldn't pick against Styles, man. I couldn't do it, and so I'm glad I didn't.
Dude, we both picked the Usos. I was legit surprised the Revival retained. I see here. Here's the thing, just to go ahead and let you know, Darnell, and you go ahead to feel free what you want to do as far as the rest of the pay-per-view stuff goes. But here's where I'm gonna go the rest of the show. I am upset at how Raw did their stuff, but I'm not upset at how SmackDown did their stuff, even though they pretty much did the same thing.
Okay. I see where you're going with this. So I know how to fit everything in. So, as we already started the United States title, AJ Styles is a 3-time United States champion after defeating Rick. Turned him inside out with that phenomenal forearm, by the way. Ain't no phenomenal forearm with
Tito
that
Santana
powerful.
made it look good, too.
But this rivalry is nowhere close to being over, as Dallas alluded to Monday night. Oh, they kept this going. Now, on the flip side, where Dallas may have some concerns with is that the club, without AJ Styles, got involved with the Usos, and the tag team champions got involved. So, makes you think of where they're going with the Raw Tag Team Championship, as the biggest party of the summer is less than a month away.
Yeah, like, I feel like the Revival, I don't understand why they booked them the way they do, because they'll either not have a match and they'll just be talking, or they'll lose a match on TV, then they'll win a match on the pay-per-view. If you're paying attention closely, there is another stable that is similar, not congruent, similar to the club, and they currently have a singles title and a tag team title in their grasp. The Usos are already 6-time tag team champions. The fact that they're competing, the fact that they're working towards the championship is already giving that belt the profile. However, with the club being put back together, and with the ever so present possibility of a potential fourth member or a fifth member if they were to decide to break up Undisputed Era, it makes you wonder, like, okay, this is AJ's last contract. He just turned heel. SummerSlam is coming up. You have a huge shortage of actual bona fide can get booze heels. It makes you think long term, the club, if you want to put money on it, should be winning a championship. I have no issue with that. Making a way too early prediction. I just, I'm just hoping that it'll be weird. They'd probably have to pin the Usos, which is why so many teams are getting involved, Darnell. But I mean, I don't like the whole Raw Tag Team Champions are never on TV, but somehow can win at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from. As we're going to keep it moving along to tie in Raw and Extreme Rules together. Last man standing.
It's weird
match.
because, on one hand, we are tying in the pay-per-view and the post-pay-per-view Raw, but I'm looking because I'm trying hard to, refresh my memory. Did Lashley and Strowman have a segment? Did either of them have a segment?
Well, I'm going to get to that. So, going into Extreme Rules, the thing with the me and Dallas had, if y'all remember, how do we get Bobby Lashley to SummerSlam? Because to Dallas' point, Bobby Lashley needs to be at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was one hell of a last man standing
one of the
match.
best of this brand split. People got to be easy, man. They got to give more credit to this match. This was actually a real last man standing match. They actually went through the arena and stuff. The finish didn't happen near the ring.
No, it actually happened in the crowd. With Braun Strowman breaking through a wall.
But there was more damage and carnage in that last man standing match than a lot of the most recent Hell in a Cell matches. And Hell in a Cell used to get down. Like that last man standing match, I don't know if it holds up. I don't want to have too much recency bias, but as far as all the quote unquote hardcore matches have been this era, dude, that's up there. That and the Becky Lynch, Asuka, Charlotte TLC match. That was a good one too. But I mean, that's what I'm comparing it to. It's one of the good ones. If you had a top 10 list, it's in there.
That was a damn good match. But we both picked Strowman to win because the more of the push.
And I don't know if we said it before, but I'm definitely going to say it now and insert it in retrospect. Lashley's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. That's this comeback. That's this current incarnation of Lashley. He's also a ECW champion and a United States champion. So Lashley has won singles gold in the biggest wrestling company in the world. Braun Strowman has not.
Braun Strowman can lose like very few matches as time continues to progress. So, I mean, I feel like Lashley's one of the guys who, for whatever reason, the whole wait your turn thing can work for him. Because it doesn't hurt him as much because he already has the resume.
So, we did see Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw, but we'll put a pin in that one because there was more other people that was on the Extreme Rules that was a part of the match that Braun Strowman was in on Monday night. So, as we gonna keep going, Samoa Joe from Raw tried to take the WWE Championship on SmackDown's Kofi Kingston. By the way, shameless plug, I just wrote the article for Unfiltered Access reviewing the Extreme Rules and what happened on TV this week. Any match that involves Samoa Joe is going to be painful. That was no different with Kofi Kingston. As if you recall, Kofi Kingston gave him the finger a couple of weeks ago before Extreme Rules. That finger did come into play. Not in a good way. With the meeting with some still steps.
You know, these things happen.
With Samoa Joe fan, who's number one now?
You know, these.
But Samoa Joe unscathed. Why? Because he took a trouble in paradise to the eye, got pin 1, 2, 3, and left with pretty much a black eye. If those of you have caught TV, you seen the little shiner underneath his eye. Yeah, that was from Kofi Kingston. So you can pretty much say they are even.
He's probably wearing a pair of Jordans. They got stiff toes. So.
But that wasn't the last year for Samoa Joe because he showed up on SmackDown. And that's interesting as well.
Yeah,
you caught SmackDown, right?
It is, and that's why
very interesting.
Now, trust me, I'm not coming in here blind. I went back and figured out everything that happened on Raw, which is why I can honestly say I'm not mad at what's happening on SmackDown because you allude to that, and something happened on SmackDown that didn't happen on Raw. And like I said, I can't be upset at it. So, like, the club, obviously, they're just reunited. They're probably going to get this big push. They're probably going to have a very good SummerSlam. Lucha House Party, as much as they have tried, dude, they're not going to be anything more than like the jobber team. I think looking at them as something that could be more than 205 Live was a mistake because there's nothing wrong with being on 205 Live. There's nothing wrong with being in a weight class. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is never going to be world heavyweight champion, but he's still one of the greatest of all time. I think them trying to pigeonhole them and trying to have them be in a legitimate back and forth 3-on-1 feud with Lars Sullivan basically made it to where you can't take them serious. So you see Lucha House Party go out there and having a match with the club, even if it was just a 2-on-2 match. You kind of sort of know what the deal is. SmackDown, however, Samoa Joe comes out after Daniel Bryan does not give us what we want. He did not give us what we want. All of a sudden, let me see, Elias and Randy Orton come out too. Fast forward, long story short, don't have 2 hours to go through everything. Randy Orton pins Kofi.
I was going to get to that little.
I know you were
going to get to that in time.
There was such a long pause and I didn't want it to be an awkward silence.
And since he did it. Yes, there's a Viper looking around the WWE Championship. By the way, since you brought up Randy Orton, hey, Randy Orton was part of the main event on Raw as well.
People really think Randy's a part-timer. He was hurt. He's not becoming a part-timer. He was nursing an injury. I don't know why people... Well, maybe it's because of the skepticism of the Brock Lesnar's and Chris Jericho's of the world, but people get hurt, and they're not going to announce it every time somebody gets shoe hurt.
Now, let me fast forward a couple of things real quick. We have our next opponent for Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, and it's Natalya.
But
have we seen this story? Have you seen, well, not the story, but have we seen this story before with Natalya?
It's another. I might as well just do the Venn diagram because we're gonna fast. I'm trying to get to the World Champions. My bad. So I'm trying to do this the best way possible, just like you're trying to help me with the pay-per-view. I can't be mad at SmackDown's version because this is a match that I don't remember seeing, and this is somebody who we've been clamoring and begging to get a shot in Ember Moon. On Raw, though, I am very upset because it's like Natalya isn't somebody that they're keeping down. Natalya isn't somebody that like, oh, she's never gotten a chance. Just give that. Dude, we've been through this before. Ironically, I think we might have been through this on SmackDown too back in the day when Natalya had that mini heel run or whatever. I can't remember. I know Alexa beat Becky for the SmackDown Championship, but maybe Natalya beat Alexa. I don't know, but hell, we've done this before, man.
Yeah, you follow me. Remember when Naomi was the SmackDown Women's Champion? SummerSlam was in Toronto. Natalya won the opportunity. Who left SummerSlam with the title? Fast forward to what happened Monday. Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and Natalya was in a triple threat match. The winner gets to face Becky Lynch for the four-way elimination match. Carmella was involved in it as well. It was an elimination match. The winner get to face Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, which is taking place in Toronto. Who wins?
Natalya definitely getting a title this time.
But to the credit though, you have to admit that post
it was. I mean, and dude, that's what they're gonna have to do. I don't know whether it's because they were shoehorning her into something similar to her uncle's gimmick. I don't know whether I don't know what it has been with Natalya, but it's been like watching paint dry. Even with the little spice in the promo, it seemed kind of sort of like used to everything. But I mean, promo wasn't bad. Natalya is a very, very good professional wrestler. And this match is going to be a very, very good technical match. The match itself won't be the problem, Darnell. It's that we got 3.5 weeks to get to it. And Natalya has not been known to keep things interesting.
Because I was sitting here like, oh, y'all were just calling each other friends like a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have to do.
But, hey, some people were complaining because they felt like Alexa Bliss versus Natalya basically meant that we were going to get Alexa Bliss again after Alexa Bliss just had 2 shots at the SmackDown Championship. So,
I was one of them.
And, everybody should have been. Everybody should have been. But at the same time, you look at the match, and it's like, dude, everybody in this match has not only been champion, but has had, like, multiple accolades recently. Carmella was just Money in the Bank. She just won Mixed Match Challenge. She's been managing R-Truth during his 10 24/7 championship runs. I mean, oh, God, especially the most recent one. But, dude, like, everybody in that match was somebody who's been there before. But you can't be that upset because it's like, dude, they just built up somebody from catwalking out every week to main eventing a pay-per-view in a world title match. Like, they show. Go ahead.
Real quick, he brought up R-Truth. If y'all don't think the PG era is coming to an end, y'all did not watch Monday Night Raw.
Maverick, he was this close. Ruined.
I knew it. I said, Lord, they finna do this. They finna do it at the hotel. This actually is finna happen. And the wife's there. The wife is there too. Jeez.
You hate to see it happen.
And Corey Graves didn't make it no better.
Hit him with the small package.
But I digress.
This dude is about to hit the damn Raven. He's already at 10. Like I said, the belt's probably going to be around for like 3 years tops. Our Truth is already at 10 and it just came out. So
but move it along. Oh, let's get to some mention stuff on Raw. Finn Balor lost to Monday Night Raw, even though it's not his show.
2 days.
To take on Samoa Joe, two guys who just lost championship titles, win at each other, and somebody got to lose and somebody has to win. Finn Balor won, but that's not the interesting part. That was the most creepiest thing that has happened in this era. Took place Monday night after Finn Balor won that match.
I mean,
we all wondered when he was going to return. Damn, they find the creepiest way to do it.
I mean, he basically did The Undertaker. I'm happy he's back. I'm ecstatic he's back. I'm ecstatic he came back as The Fiend, and it's not going to be like the demon character where we only get to see it every so often. But I mean, the creepiest.
I say in this era. I ain't say of all time.
What, bro? We just had Undertaker with the Lightning like 2 weeks ago.
You know, we're used to that though.
That's what I'm saying though. Like this, dude. This era, I'm trying to remember. Let's see. The Wyatt Compound was 2015, so that doesn't count. But like, we've had the Undertaker. But you say we're used to that. It's like you're used to Lightning coming out on the post, but you're not used to somebody coming out in their new character and hitting the same finisher they've always hit.
It probably is mostly that mask he was wearing.
Now that is a creepy mask. I will give you that, and his contacts make it. Yeah, that I will give you that. It's weird because I'm wondering because it's such a little taste. It's been such little itty bitty tidbits ever since he's been back on TV. I mean, like in general, Firefly Funhouse and everything. I wonder if he's basically going to be our new Kane. I wonder like how often this mask will be on. Because I mean, we know who Bray is. We've heard Bray's voice. We know that the Fiend is basically him allowing himself to be free and handle the things he's always needed to handle. Instead of trying to suppress it away, he's now embracing it. But that's the thing, like with Kane, even like in the Ruthless Aggression era where he wasn't wearing a bodysuit anymore, it all became like Kane as a person. And I wonder how much of the Fiend has always been in Bray Wyatt, the person anyway.
That time will have to tell on that one, because when you know Kane coming, you pray to live through the moment.
Exactly, and the way Bray looked, that's the crazy thing too. I mean, he's still Bray. No name change. This is him. This has been a perfect like repackage. This has been the perfect re-debut of a new aspect of a character with the same name. Like, dude, I'm excited. I just hope that he gets a match against a real person. I don't really want to see a squash match. I want to see this new entity actually beat somebody worth a damn.
From what people are already guessing, they think it's going to be the Demon.
Well, yeah, I mean, this definitely starts a feud, doesn't it? We only got like 3 months till SummerSlam. They're still giving us these itty bitty tidbits. Again, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. But I mean, at some point, it's like the Undertaker streak. The Demon has to lose eventually. It's just the question has always been, who would the Demon ever lose to? Another way too early prediction. There you go.
So that took place.
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's a long process. It's a hard thought out process. Yeah, I know. I was there from March of this year. thinking about how I'm gonna do this, doing all my research, trying to get everything right. What platforms can we use and how we gonna record it and how we gonna make it sound good and make it all this happen. And then I came upon Anchor. The Anchor app on my phone, the easiest choice I could ever make to do a podcast. It's free to use. You don't gotta pay for nothing. You can record episodes whenever you're ready. You can edit it and then you can release them when you want to. And you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how you're going to distribute it on other platforms, because Anchor has partnerships with Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Cast, whatever you name it. Because the Playmakers Bar podcast is the podcast that I use. We are on all them platforms. We are on 9 platforms just by using the Anchor app. So pretty much all the questions that you have questions about doing a podcast, go to the Anchor app or go to the Anchor website, anchor.fm.com, and just search through it, ask questions. Because I tell you, a free app that does all this, there's nothing more you can ask for. I even got friends, they doing their podcast on the Anchor app. Faith Talk, you might have heard of it because it's very good. And it's great that it's an app like this, it's a website like this that makes it easier for people to do podcasts and do what they love best, talking about the things that they love to talk about. So give Anchor a try, see how much you like it. We'll love to hear your podcast.
Let me think. Anything else took place on Raw before I get to the main event?
Damn, what was the main?
We talked about the women's championship. We talked about the tag titles. We talked about the U.S. title.
So I take it you're going to talk about a major event that happened at Extreme Rules when you talk about the main event, because the main event is literally kind of sort of about that.
Yep.
Okay. I know. I'm good.
So the main event of Extreme Rules, as everybody knows, mixed tag team match, Extreme Rules match. Raw Women's Championship, WWE Universal Championship on the line. A very physical match, a very painful match, as you expect. It's a Extreme Rules match, so you want to see some pain, right?
Pain.
Candlesticks, chair shots, tables, suplex on the steel ramp. You got what you wanted. But that was, I don't know about you, but Baron Corbin calls him and Lacey Evans those titles.
Oh yeah. He got a little bit too much dip in his chip.
One thing you don't do is put your hand on another man's woman. Especially in front of him. So it wasn't enough you already got put through a table. You got suplex on the stair ramp. You took kendo stick shots. So you decided to do it in the days to Becky Lynch in front of Seth Rollins.
And smile at him.
And you got exactly what you deserve.
Seth busted that kendo stick wide open.
And if Corey Gray said the same thing, you know it was too far. He whooped your behind with a kendo stick. He wasn't even done. He got a tray and whooped your ass. And then decided to do 3 curb stomps to your face. To be honest, I'm surprised you even made it to Raw the next night.
But in the process, Seth blew himself up. You know what happened then?
So Seth Rollins pins Baron Corbin. Look outside the ring, check on his girlfriend Becky Lynch. His music cut off, and then that fateful music hit. The Beast in the Bank was inside Philadelphia.
Being led by who?
Paul Heyman with briefcase in hand. Extreme Rules inside Philadelphia, and Paul Heyman's there. Never already knew what was coming, so he tried to strike first. Didn't work. Suplexes. Brock said, go ahead, catch that in right now. F5 later, Seth Rollins was conquered. A 3-time Universal Champion shows up on Raw. Paul Heyman finally says on TV that he's the one who has all the power. You know what he did with that power, Dallas?
What?
he decided, you know what? We got a brand split. We doing this wild card rule. You know what we gonna do here for somebody to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? We're gonna have ourselves an all-star 10-man battle warrior cross brand. So you had Braun Strowman, you had Cesaro, you had Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Bobby Lashley. I'm missing 2 people.
One was Big E. I'm surprised.
Right?
And
I don't know how to in that match, but he did.
well, I mean, let's be honest. Hey, Kofi ain't gonna be able to go forever.
So you had 10-man battle royal, the all-star of that pretty much your top 10 guys in one match to fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And of course, you probably can figure out who won that match.
I mean, y'all have Twitter. There's no.
You ain't gotta have Twitter. You can see the ending at Restrained Rules and find out what the main event was. You can probably guess who's gonna win.
Blew my high straight out the water.
Seth Rollins won.
Much to the chagrin of a lot of people, surprisingly.
Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Universal Championship.
I am surprised. I am honestly surprised at how many people are not with this match, and not because of Brock. Like, man, look. And you know what? I'm going to tie in something I can't believe I forgot it, but I'm going to tie it in. Hindsight, give it about a couple weeks, dude. I think the whole Becky and Seth having the Universal title be held in the balance due to a relationship thing might have done more damage to Seth than Drew losing that match to Roman way back when. I can't remember the pay-per-view. Was it Money in the Bank? I think it was Money in the Bank. And I said I was worried because it's like, dude, if Drew loses, then you said he would be like Diesel. And I was like, well, if he could be like Diesel, then that'd be good. The only problem is he has not been like Diesel. If anything, he has been an afterthought. Just talk about main events real quick, because just keep glossing over. Dude, Elias was the Saint Shane stooge. They got to be in the main event with the WWE champion. Elias. Dude, Drew has not been able to get out the block since. And now you mean to tell me I've blinked and now people are mad that Seth is still in the main event title picture? I thought this is who you wanted. He didn't even have the belt until SummerSlam. Dude, the people that main event WrestleMania at least keep the belt till SummerSlam. Hell, that's when the one who shall not be named lost it to Randy Orton. I mean, even he got to hold it till SummerSlam. It's one of those things where it might have seemed cute at first. It probably would have seemed cute if it didn't seem like Seth needed Becky. But dude, I never thought I'd see the day. People.
The funny thing, you kept saying it, but I don't think you was actually listening to what you were saying. You was actually alluding to this the whole time.
Damn.
And then it just came full circle. Because remember, you said if Becky gets involved or somehow saves Seth Rollins from Brock Lesnar, you might as well forget about it. Baron Corbin took Becky out, and you seen what Brock Lesnar did to Seth Rollins.
Damn. It's one of those things where it's like they've put Seth Rollins in such a corner that it was like you couldn't have him escape. You literally wrote it to where he needs Becky to help him. Becky wasn't there to help him. He loses. How are you gonna? some dirt sheet. I think it's PW Mania. They're saying that Brock Lesnar won so that Seth Rollins could have a marquee opponent for SummerSlam. But I'm looking at how Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are doing right now, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't think any member of the Shield right now is the long-term focus. I could be wrong, but I mean, I'm looking at it now. And it's like we're going to a Big Four pay-per-view. Seth Rollins is trying to get a world championship back. And Roman Reigns, I mean, he ain't even going for the Intercontinental title. That's probably going to be Ali. He's opening up the show in like tag matches where we definitely thought it was going to be like the semi-main event or something. He's in town halls getting his mic cut off.
I think that was more because of the Undertaker, and what you was alluding to, because he couldn't go that long.
Dude, but that match though, it's one thing if it's like, oh, okay, give Taker, the opening, he ain't gonna last that long. But dude, like Taker went out there, he opened the curtain on them boys at like 50 something.
He did. Well, I'm saying that they probably took your logic of thinking and was like, you know what, we might as well let y'all open that way, just in case.
Well, yeah.
We ended it.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But still, though, it's like, if just being honest, though, like the the whole theory that we had behind Roman going to SmackDown was that it didn't work giving him the John Cena push, so they're going to do slow and steady wins the race. The problem is, the more Kofi wins, the harder it is to fathom him making it to the Royal Rumble even. So the problem now becomes, who's going to beat Kofi and who's going to beat the guy who beat Kofi? And dude, Roman Reigns can't get out of Shane McMahon's grasp. He can't get out of Shane McMahon's vision. And now Shane, like, I'm trying to.
I was working. Bigger problems.
Yeah, I mean, then Shane, because like Shane, here's the sad thing, Darnell. I'm not even trying to throw a monkey wrench into everything. I'm getting back to Brock. I am. I honestly can't remember when Shane walked out with the whole heel roster, because Shane is on every moment of every hour of every show. Did he walk out with the rest of the heel locker room and SmackDown? I think it was SmackDown, because I think he was trying to.
SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He wasn't on Raw.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, he wasn't.
He was not on Raw whatsoever.
Jesus Christ, I'm going through it. But dude, when you do that, like when you do something like that, and tying it back to the Raw World Championship picture, when you do something like what Shane did, bringing out the whole heel locker room for one damn guy, you're basically saying, hey, by the way, these are all the guys who are bad guys. Look through this little huddle right here, and you tell me who you think should beat Kofi. Then you mean to tell me, I'm definitely taking this report with a grain of salt. You mean to tell me that with all of the heels that followed Shane out, that Seth is going to beat Brock at SummerSlam just because he needed a good opponent? And Seth is going to go back to being a babyface with no heels to face himself? Because the logic you're using with Alexa Bliss, you can't use with Samoa Joe. You can't Samoa Joe go after the Raw World title after he just went after the SmackDown World title. So Brock Lesnar, I honestly was like, you know what? I can't even be mad at this cash-in. I can't.
You know what? I had to start about something.
What?
When you sitting here talking about Shane McMahon and all that stuff, I cannot forget this. You was talking about Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I looked up at the scene and I said, "God damn you, Isaiah."
Mm.
My breast man's up in heaven making miracles. How in the hell did it say that I was gonna beat Drew McIntyre?
I mean, at least with Apollo is like a heavyweight. He's been on the main roster, and Andrade hasn't really done anything. Cedric, though, is like, Dude, how? Then somebody told me on Twitter he hit the roll up, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, like, the hell are you doing?
It don't matter.
What the hell are you doing with Drew? What the hell are you doing with Drew?
It don't matter how Cedric won. It's the fact that he beat Drew on live television.
They're trying to make Drew into a heavyweight brick house Dolph Ziggler. They're trying to make him into the heavyweight Dolph Ziggler. I can't believe it. I just can't fathom how this has happened. I said it way back in January. If Drew McIntyre doesn't win the Royal Rumble, they are not going to know what to do with him. He is going to be aimless and floating around. Fast forward to July, well after Royal Rumble, he's losing to Cedric Alexander on Raw.
And watching Shane get stunned by Kevin Owens on SmackDown.
And losing nostalgia tag matches. That's 3 L's in 1 week, Darnell. 3.
Yeah, but I'm not really put too much stock in that tag match, because man, you fought the Undertaker back. That's difficult.
But that's the problem, Darnell. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You brought the Undertaker back, so it swayed so much into Roman and Undertaker's Vegas favor. That's the problem. You have Shane, and you have the other guy. There's no way in hell they should have a chance. Dude, Drew McIntyre stood eye to eye with Undertaker is billed at 6'10". They say, quote unquote, that Drew McIntyre is 6'5", 260. I refuse to believe that this man is still the same weight he was when he was in 3MB the first time. I refuse to believe he's the same height. I refuse to believe he's the same height as he was when he was in 3MB the first time.
Did you not hear the crowd? They was looking forward to this.
They were forehead to forehead. Forehead to forehead.
Shoot, Philadelphia got a preview of what we wanted to see.
Like, look, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. This I understand. But Diesel wouldn't be Diesel if he lost every match against somebody who wasn't even in Sean's stratosphere. Losing to the guy who Sean is about to face the show before the pay-per-view, okay. Losing to a random cruiserweight that was just under a mask filling in for a janitor in the main event last week that had everybody confused, even though he did very well. That's not the move. Again, Elias got to main event of SmackDown. Elias. And a show that was really about Shane and Kevin.
That turned into Randy Orton and Kofi.
Oh, that storyline definitely stole the show. Because remember, this is only the second time Kofi done lost since he won the belt. And both times he lost, he was going against like legends in a world title match at the pay-per-view. So I Kofi taking a pin in a 6-man tag match. As much as I hate champions getting pinned in tag matches, there was really no choice because everybody in the New Day is a champion. Clap, clap.
New Day got all the gold.
All the gold. The World Tag Team Champions and they're the World Heavyweight Champion. But like I said, somebody has to win. Somebody has to lose. It's Randy freaking Orton. If you're going to eat a pin to anybody while you're World Champion, I would think it's Randy Orton. I mean,
By the way, shout out to Xavier Woods and Big E, 6-time tag champs.
6-time. I think that this is going to be the only one that doesn't involve Kofi.
Like, they threw a curveball at us because we for sure thought the past champion was going to keep those titles. Like, 2 faces in the head. Pick the head.
Yeah, because there's like so many ways. But I mean, it makes sense because let's be honest, like, Vince McMahon is going against all of his status quo with the New Day. He hasn't had Big E turn heel to try to get an opportunity. He hasn't had Kofi just say, like, I'm through with you guys. I'm more than, like, dude, they have kept New Day together, and New Day has basically said, like, they've stood their ground creatively. They've basically made it known that, like, hey, we have something special, and this right here, what we've built, is going to get Kofi the World Heavyweight Championship, and it did. Very rare business do you have a stable stick together as much as the New Day has. Most recently, it's pretty much Bullet Club and the Elite. The Elite went out and started AEW, and Bullet Club, as long as Tama Tonga and Bad Luck Fale are in the group, there's always going to be some sort of cohesion and foundation. But those are the two, though. I mean, and well, for the most part, Chaos and Suzuki, basically anybody in Japan, because Japan is more stable based. So in America, I'll say in America, it's pretty much the Elite and New Day. Everybody else, at some point, when somebody won the world title belt, everybody started feeling iffy. But, like, dude, when it's all said and done, man, like, I felt like New Day became Hall of Famers when they had the Shield versus New Day match at that Survivor Series. The fact that this New Day was looked at as that level of a trio, we all knew they were going to lose to the Shield, but I feel like that cemented their status because they could have done a lot. They could have pieced together a super team. They could have put the Bar and, like, somebody who won a world title before or whatever the hell. But nope, went New Day. So they pretty much gonna walk into the damn Hall of Fame. But
shout out to Bailey. Bailey chose her next opponent, and it's about damn time.
Bailey about to walk into the damn Hall of Fame too. Words can't describe. I can't find the words to say how happy I am that Ember. I don't give a damn if she gets squashed, dude. She's finally getting a title match, and it's gonna happen at a major pay-per-view. Like, again, what I just said with the New Day, babyface versus babyface. Now, don't know what's gonna happen. Don't know what's gonna happen after the match. Don't know what's gonna happen before the match. But as of right now, you have two happy-go-lucky, very competitive women's baby faces going toe-to-toe in a title match. I'm happy that creative finally remembered that it's okay to do a match like this every so often. It's okay for baby faces to be competitive and be good sports every once in a while. It's okay.
Now, I am expecting a extra title match for SummerSlam after what happened on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as the heel champions decided to take the calorie way out. So I'm expecting a title change. Early prediction.
Please. Jesus, please. Please. Sasha Banks was right. She was right. She tried to tell him because these tag titles have just gone straight into the dumpster fire.
So, the Kabuki Warriors, I expect to be holding gold at the end of August 11.
Oh, early August. Okay.
Yeah, August 11.
Dang.
Which means you know what happens on August 10th.
Ooh, oh, we have another one. Yeah.
Oh, did y'all really think I was gonna go this whole podcast without even mentioning NXT? Oh no, sir.
Shout out to Jacksonville Beach's own Dexter Loomis. Oh, buddy, hit a back suplex on a 320-pound man. No, he rolled out of a back suplex, hit a back suplex. Go ahead.
Somebody that crazy looking dude that looked like he should be on a video game.
Yeah, he was Sam Shaw in Impact. He rolled out of a back suplex, hit a back suplex after, and then nipped up. Then, like, when he was on his toes from the nip up, did a leaping discus leg drop. Like, bruh.
Reed, shout out to Reed though, deciding to go into the top rope and just damn near put the guy through the damn neck.
Shout out to the match in general. Shout out to the breakout tournament. That's how you use a bloated roster full of known independent signings. That's how you do it right there. Like, they're not going to be in the performance center that long. They know how to wrestle. So you got to figure out a way to write them into an hour-long show. And shout out for them doing the old, like, not the old King of the Ring, but like the PG era Raw King of the Ring, where like you just do it on TV like throughout the month. And eventually William Regal wins.
Dallas, pray for your buddy Tyler Breeze.
You know.
I don't know, out of all the three he could have picked, he had to pick that one. He had to pick that one. Out of all the three.
You hate to see it.
So best believe your buddy is gonna get brutalized when they have this match. Undisputed Era. Street Profits sent y'all the message. I hope y'all received it. Because Street Profits, they got serious on NXT. They got serious. They wasn't no joking around now.
I feel like the Street Profits having segments on main roster television is a sign. May not happen in Toronto, but it's probably going to happen within the next 2 matches with Undisputed Era. This isn't going to be like a one-off feud. It's probably going to happen like, if not this takeover, whichever is the next title of defense they have against the boys. That's when they're going to do it. Because like, dude, I'm looking at how they're used on the main roster, and it's like they can't have a match because they can't lose. But they're really involved. They're not acting like they're rookies. So we'll see with that, because maybe this is one of the rare times where NXT has actually figured out a legitimate exit plan for a champion that might be called up. I mean, it's a time for stables to look strong and dominant. Remember, Darnell, at one time we had Evolution and the Cabinet going strong at the same time. All the belts were like literally held up except for the Cruiserweight and the Women's belt. And the sad thing is, I think one of the Bashops could have fought for the Cruiserweight belt. So I'm sure Ric Flair could have found somebody to compete for the Women's belt. But
And shout out to Adam Cole,
an antagonistic rookie chance given heavyweight champion.
Shout out to Adam Cole. And shout out to the guy who he gave the opportunity to.
Coming with the backup.
He ain't coming with any ordinary backup.
Came with Cleveland's finest.
You made your first ever appearance on NXT and you got to bring back Johnny Gargano?
You're not out of the park, kid.
And it's how he said it too. It's a shame because I ain't come along. Man, Johnny's back and he put a beat down on Adam Cole. Toronto, get ready because Adam Cole and Gargano ain't done. They already had 2 stellar matches. Can they make it a trifecta? That brings me to a question.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been any feuds lately that had a trifecta of great matches?
Is this rhetorical or are you actually asking me?
I'm actually asking this.
Let's see. Any feuds recently that had good matches?
We talking about 3 straight must-watch matches. Because Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole already got 2. They in it and on TakeOver.
Duh. Usos New Day. They had like 5.
Oh man, you're right. Every time they get together, it's like
They're the reason why the tag team titles, well, the SmackDown tag team titles, they're the reason why the SmackDown tag team titles are almost never on the kickoff show anymore. God, how did we forget that? Oh God, dude, they
better on the kickoff show or they open up the show.
Like they literally made it to where it's like, okay, well, I could just look up the results on Twitter later. Ain't nobody beating that. The Battleground match where Xavier Woods got his first championship pin in WWE. That match was what else happened at that Battleground pay-per-view?
I don't even remember that.
Like what else even happened?
What about that Hell in a Cell match? Jesus.
We're opening up the show. The spot where they had Jay locked in there with the candlesticks. Then like 5 minutes later, they have Woods handcuffed to the post, hanging off the post, and they're just going to town. Like it, bro. That feud was bonkers. Was nuts. They basically did it to where you almost can't have an Usos New Day match ever again because you can't just one off that. You can't just give 5 minutes on TV for that. You gotta let that breathe. Especially now that they both have 6 championships. Right now, they're basically the Edge and Christian and the Dudleys of this era. You have Big E and Xavier Woods, where it's like Big E might be going on to become Edge. They're like, I want to say, they're 5 or 6 years younger than Kofi. So Kofi's at least going to be gone for a couple years while those guys are finding their stride. But Big E is probably going to be Edge and Woods is probably going to be Christian. The Usos, though, they're never breaking up. Like, ever. They're going to win, like, a lot of belts. Like, a lot of belts.
And all in all, we saying expect Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano to give us a trifecta.
It's brother. This feud is gonna go down as it may go down as the best in NXT history. I think right now, the best feud in NXT history is Shinsuke Finn. I think Shinsuke Finn was the first time you had multiple time NXT champions. I mean, the belt changed hands in Tokyo. It changed hands on TV. Like that's pretty much right now the feud in NXT. That was the feud that like made people think, oh, okay, this might be the third brand. This might not even be developmental anymore. Gargano Cole are basically like up there. And when they go to Canada, when they blow this main event out the water, because remember, there's only going to be like 5 matches. So they're already going to have to follow a freaking gunpowder barrel of action.
But I think we have our next opponent for the Queen of NXT.
Oh.
And by the way, might I say me and Yeb is probably the smartest woman who's ever trying to fight Shayna Baszler at this point. Because who would just go after the henchmen in the parking lot?
It's sad that something so simple is so brilliant, but you're right. Like, yeah.
Just beat her down in the parking lot. Like, I'm sending a message. All the other ones, they didn't even do that. So me and him looks like she be going to take over.
Wow, the head bitch in charge versus the Queen of Spades. Kind of sort of makes you wonder with the way that the women's division is. You know, when they actually use people, Darnell, you kind of realize the women's division on the main roster is kind of stacked. And NXT, its profile and its brand keeps growing every week. Now you got main roster stars coming back down to spend some time and freshen up. Got Apollo, Killian Dane, and Tyler Breeze.
Dude, Kushida did a flip off the top rope into a armbar.
I'm trying to tell people, he's probably in NXT to be real because of his English. Because if he had English, the level of like Shinsuke or Akira Tozawa, he'd probably be on 205 Live right now, carrying the show and saving it and making sure it doesn't get canceled by the end of the year. In fact, I wonder how much longer they're gonna wait to where they just say, you know what, you'll learn as you go. We'll figure it out. We need you to be in so and so Ohio Tuesday night. I want to see Drew Gulak versus Kushida. Me personally, I don't know about you, Darnell.
I think they already did that.
I want to see it again.
You want to see it again?
I want to see it for championships.
Hey, you know one thing I enjoyed as we get ready to close out? Aleister Black and Cesaro.
Oh God, dude, that right there.
They went in twice.
The Brock Lesnar moment, even though we kind of all were waiting for the Brock Lesnar moment, that is the moment of the show. That's the moment we're going to keep talking about as far as Extreme Rules 2019. But man, before that happened, Black and Cesaro were stealing the show, man. People weren't following that match.
You should have, because I told you. I even tweeted it. You're going to get some kicks. You're going to get some uppercuts.
I don't mean follow like that. I mean the matches after that match weren't that match. And the match went in with considerably low build. I mean, yeah, the whole who's going to knock, who's going to do, like they revealed Cesaro like the show before the pay-per-view. Then it's like, Cesaro? And you think to yourself immediately, well, it's going to be a good match, but Cesaro? Then the match happens. Cesaro has new gear. They both have new moves. Dude, they just went at it. I just want to know what creative said to them.
It was physical and now they being extreme.
It was the perfect. You know how ECW, people know that every match wasn't a hardcore match, right? Like, there were some matches in ECW that are wrestling matches that stand the test of time. Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero had a classic match in ECW. Chris Jericho had a lot of great matches in ECW. The Ringmaster, that one guy who drinks the beers all the time, he was in ECW. So ECW had great matches that happened in the midst of all the flaming tables and, cursing women. Cesaro and Aleister Black are a perfect example of how ECW, a RVD and a Sandman or a Tommy Dreamer and a Sabu could just go in there and have really, really good matches in the midst of everybody else using something from under the ring. I felt like that match belonged at a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules. I didn't see a single weapon.
So you said you brought up the Ringmaster, you brought up Dean Malenko, you brought up Tommy Dreamer, RVD.
And even though those are ECW's finest, we're going to get to see all of WWE's finest next Monday. Some of them overlap with WCW, but that's okay. Actually, now I think about it, Booker T overlaps, Hulk overlaps, Nash overlaps.
It makes you wonder who are you going to see, because it's 3 hours we're talking about.
Yeah, and USA is the one that pitched it, so they're going to want to see everybody to get some ratings up. They're about to cash in those legend contracts, ain't they, Darnell?
They about to do something.
I mean, to be real, they've been doing nostalgia damn near every pay-per-view because they're too scared to rely on their new people. So a Raw reunion show with a bunch of promos and segments and stuff, it's especially when we just had like the Raw 20 or 25 or something. We had something to where Raw just had like a anniversary, like a major anniversary. Then we just had SmackDown 1000, like literally last October, not even a year ago. But hey, ratings, gotta do what you gotta do. I understand it is TV. Shoot, we're probably gonna see more people who actually got over on SmackDown for the Raw reunion who actually saw SmackDown 1000.
All I know is this, there's a Raw reunion coming. We on the road to Toronto for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
And we still are going to have fun. And don't worry, the book contest is still coming. You haven't worked out full the details yet.
It's a big iron and a big ironing board. It takes a lot to get across to people. It's a big t-shirt we're ironing out. We'll get there, though.
So, that would do it for me. Go ahead, close us out, Dallas.
All right. Let me see. Let me whip up something. Oh. Okay. I think I have something. Right now, as we speak, well, probably not as we speak, but currently in the wrestling universe, there is this major tournament. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, called the G1. And right now, one of the three guys who were in that one very, very powerful stable is out there having the time of his life. He has a young lion that is pretty much his rookie/tag team partner. I don't know how the hell that happened. And he's just going out here having hardcore matches and having fun with AEW. Guys, look at Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, and realize that life is too short to be dealing with the BS. Life is much too short to be in a situation where you're not happy. Maybe you do have the same opportunity as Jon Moxley and you can wait out a contract or wait out a situation. Maybe you just have to pony up and find a new endeavor or find a new adventure. Either way, you have to live life the way you want to live it. And I'm going to live my life by saying fuck the Tennessee Titans now and forever. Goodbye.